Super Friends? Today we're going on a roller coaster ride as we hear about the journey of a global champion breaking insane Model United Nations records. I'll see you in India today. Hello, Domil. Welcome to Super Talk Show and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Heidi. What a pleasure. It's an incredible pleasure being here.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And today we're just going to have a conversation about your experience and journey winning world championship on an international level. Can you talk to us a little bit about your experience and what was it?
Of course, definitely. Hi, everybody. For all those people who's watching this fantastic Super Talk show hosted by Heidi. To introduce myself, I'm Domil and she's on Sin all the way from a very tiny little village called Thirumaradi Grama Panchayat in Ernakulam district, Kerala state from the Republic of India. So my journey with Model United Nations is what Heidi wanted me to talk about. And if I have to start off with my conversation, I think my Model UN's journey started in 2019, where I first participated in a Model UN conference called the World Education Events, India and Abroad Model United Nations. So that was a very big, large conference. We had a good number of participants. There were international delegations. And that was where I first won a Model UN, for the first time. That was my first Model UN conference and I won Best Delegate there. So that has been a kickstart, journey to my Model UN career.
Whoa.
So
how many?
That's big.
Yeah, if I may ask, how many delegates were in your committee?
So I basically was in the United Nations Security Council. So basically I had 20 delegates. So technically there should be 15 member nations, which are 5 permanent members and 10 non-permanent members. Plus there was 5 observatory states. So basically we had 20 delegates in that stimulation. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so just to add on to and wrap up with my journey, I would say, so from there has been the pandemic coming, a lot of things has been going on. So at that time, there was this online thing that was happening. We had a fantastic thing. We had a lot of opportunities opening up for people, especially in the online way. We were able to reach out to competitions. So I participated in a very major conference called the Nanyang Technological University's Global Voices Model United Nations, which was considered to be the World Championship of Model UN in South Asian region. So that was where I won the Best Delegate award, and I finally become something what we call a world champion in Model UN. As of today, I have an experience of 150 plus Model UN conferences with 33 best delegates, 23 high competition, and 44 special honorable and verbal mentions.
Wait, hold up. There was okay, the number. So first of all, the MUN you attended was a World Championship MUN.
Yeah.
Wow. And what was the numbers all about? I didn't hear it.
All right. So are you asking about like the number of people in that competition, or is it like the number of conferences I attended as of now?
Yeah, you said something about 100 or 1,000. What was that?
All right. It's just that as of today, I have attended 150 plus Model UN conferences across 12 nations, and I hold almost 100 plus delegate awards.
You started your journey in 2019 and you attended 150 plus MUNs?
Yeah, I did.
What? Okay, I attended about like 20. And then one of my friends from India, he attended around 30, and that was like a huge number. But you attended 150.
Yeah, of course, because for me, Model United Nations was an every weekend exercise. I had a very strong team in my school who was able to get weekly competitions. I was able to attend almost 2 conferences per week because my school really wanted me to compete in Model United Nations. We took a very professional approach to things. As the way what Serena Williams plays tennis, we actually did play Model United Nations in the same spirit. So that was the reason we were able to cover such a massive number of Model UN conference. I know it's an insane number, but that was huge. Yeah.
It is. Well, that's crazy. So how do you really balance your time with MUN and your schoolwork if you're attending 2 conferences per week?
Yeah, so basically for my school is pretty relaxed with my academic thing. Basically, it's just that we actually are given a very flexible schedule. So it's just that we do not have to, we have 5 days classes a week. But for people who are, taking part in competitions, basically there was online classes happening. So basically we were able to get the online lectures recorded for us. So because of that, we just have to sit and watch the lectures which has to be said. And other all things, rest of the time we could completely dedicate to the module and activity, which is truly a new concept that has been introduced by our school.
Wow, that's great support from your school. That's
Of
really
course, yeah.
wow. And from your 150 MUNs, what did you learn the most about MUNs?
All right. So there's not one particular thing which I could, pinpoint and say that this is the thing I learned from a Model UN conference. But there are several hundred of things which you encounter every single conference. You get to meet a lot of new people, and one among you is Heidi, which I get to meet in Harvard Model United Nations, Harvard National Model United Nations Latin America Conference 2021. So of course, one thing is to get to meet new people and explore how they talk to people and how exactly the cultural things works and what about the dynamics they speak in, and everything is about that. That's the most important thing about attending a Model United Nations. Second thing is that I was pretty much passionate about international affairs and politics. So as of now, I did my 11th and 12th grade, which is basically my junior year and senior year of my high school, completely dedicated to the social science stream. So because of that, I wanted to do an activity which really highlighted the social science side of mine. So that's the reason my school emphasizes me to continue with this activity and take it to the highest possible level ever possible. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, you are currently on the highest level possible for MUN. I've never heard that number. It's still stuck in my head. But you
Yeah.
said something about in your junior year and senior year, you completely dedicated your 2 years into social sciences in high school. And can you elaborate on that a little bit? How does that work in your school and your coursework?
Yeah, of course. This is like the thing that actually happens in India, where I'll tell you something. Okay, so basically, in India, academics is super, super rigor. I would say it's unlike the American system where people actually learn calculus in their maybe 11th grade or even 12th grade for that matter. We actually learn it in our 8th and 9th grade. So in when it comes to math, yeah. So when it comes to math, science, and all, even for social science for that matter, Indian course system is pretty advanced and rigorous. It's just that
Wow.
the Western countries, they fail to recognize how advanced is the Indian system. It's super stressful, I would say, but at the same time we're able to cover a lot of things in a very starting age. So that's the reason and also now coming to particularly to the question you asked, how are we able to dedicate 11th and 12th grade particularly to a discipline? So in India, basically there's an examination where you pass out of your high school in 10th grade. So we basically pass out of our high school in 10th grade. So, and after that, you could do 2 years specialization on a particular department, either from the STEM side or either from the commerce side or from the social science side. So I opted for the social science side and I did 2 years specialization on that particular year. So that's about it.
Oh, wow. That's very cool. About your social sciences, what do you learn like about global affairs or yeah.
All right. So basically, it's just that we actually learn a lot of, in the sense, social science means it comes to the humanities sides of things. So in humanities, we learn the history. Definitely, Indian history is a very big concept. Being a country with a lot of history, we learn about the cultural history of India, the ancient history of India, the rulers, and all those people who ruled the country. Similarly, we learn a lot about the world history. Of course, the American War of Independence, the French Revolution, the Russian Revolution, the world wars, a lot of things we cover in history. Then political science, we have a very advanced coursework. We actually learn the principles of political science in a very in-depth manner. We do research on several terms like federalism, and there is the power sharing aspect of it. Then we do an exclusive review on the study of Indian constitution. And I think a student who studied 11th and 12th grade in social science stream in India are able to have a very good understanding of Indian constitution. So basically, we enter law school right after our graduation in plus two. So in grade 12. So that after we graduate from grade 12, we enter law school. That's also a possible option in India. So that's how Indian curriculum works, and that's about it.
Wow. So you could eventually go into law school when you're 18.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we could go to law school when we graduate of our high school, and you could get in law school even before 18, even in 17, you can get into if you clear an examination called the Common Law Aptitude Test, and it's possible.
That's really advanced. Um,
Yeah.
that's so cool to learn. And actually, can you talk to us a little bit more about your recent really great news? I heard you got into an Indian college that basically is impossible to get into. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that?
Of course, I would say. So basically, my application, basically I graduated of my high school in August this year, August 2021, not this year, of course, last year. I graduated in August 2021. So because of the COVID, there was an instant delay in a lot of things. So I couldn't make the US deadlines possible at that time. So I did had plans to apply to the colleges in the United States, which include the all eight Ivy League schools and some of the top 20 schools in the United States. And before that, so I couldn't make it to the deadlines because my school and also the entire system in India was lacking behind the American system. So that there was a lot of possible, problems associated with the schedules in which the examinations happening. So we had a very delayed academic year, and because of that, my academic year ended very late. And and so that I decided to apply to some Indian colleges so that I could use the technically what we call an American gap year creatively. So as I earn college credits in my gap year. So for that, I first of all I took this entrance examination called CLAT. I cleared that examination. I actually got into one of the top five national law universities, one of the top five law schools in India, but I decided not to go through it, seeing that I actually wanted some other plans. So yeah, it's very surprising for a lot of people. Um, but then I decided to apply to another set of college called the University of Delhi. So in University of Delhi, we have a very separate kind of application procedures. It's not like an examination you write, you get high scores, you get in. It's just you have your passing examination. Like in America, we have the SAT. And the ACT, we have this standardized test in India called the Grade 12 examination. So based on the Grade 12 examination, out of 500, if a student is scoring more than 475 out of 500, that person is eligible to apply for Delhi University in normal cutoff. So I actually applied through there, and I got shortlisted at first, and after which I had to write a lot of essays. Definitely the same procedure for US colleges. And after writing essays and after clearing the cutoff, there's basically like a small test that is happening to test your aptitude. So that also I cleared. Then after which I had to give a very powerful interview with a very strong eminent panel of people who all been hall PhDs, who are basically doctors in their particular department. So I had to clear such an interview. And after this, when the final list actually came out, I got into the St. Stephen's College of Delhi University, which have an insane acceptance rate of 1.33% because they accept 400 people from 30,000 applicants.
Wow. 1.3. So how did you make yourself stand out among all these amazing applicants? Did you have like maybe the number of your MUNs or maybe your world championship made you stand out? What do you think?
I think there are plenty of factors that stand out in my application, I would say, especially in the essays they asked me about my CV in particular, what I am as of now. So I told them, so before this, I also took this low entrance. That was one thing I could definitely say about. Number two, I'm also interested in theater, and I have been doing theater for almost 10 years now. So that's the most prominent extracurricular activity of mine before Model U, and took the big picture of making me popular through this. So theater was something that was very good at it. I actually came one in 1,152 in the same entrance for Delhi University in theater. And I actually won third position in a international level theater competition as well. So I think theater also played a massive role because the college really have a lot of interest for picking people who also have an arts background. Apart from Model U and theater, I also was into creative writing. I write a lot. I have some of my articles published in local media, so that also helped. So in total, an overall profile of all this made me get into St. Stephen's, I guess.
Wow, this is the most intense and wow the conversation or interview I've ever had. This is so cool. So
Thank you.
in general, yeah, thank you. In general, what would you say is one advice you would give to other people or other MUNers who really want to do like a lot of MU and get a lot of experience and yeah.
All right. So first of all, for me, Model United Nations was a lot of things. First of all, I was able to teach people about the concept of Model United Nations. I served in the position of director and assistant director for several good conferences in the country and also abroad. I would also, and that's the reason I think Heidi was also there. We both were, assistant directors at Harvard Model U in Dubai. So that's again one conference I chaired. So I actually served as assistant director, but there are other conferences I chaired. So that's again, moderating to learn the skill of moderation. That's again one thing I did for the United Nations. But apart from that, learning more about international affairs is the most primary reason I did all United Nations. Number two, it improved the way I could, communicate. I could improve my English. As a person who is able to speak 5 different languages, I really want my English to be polished. So because of that, I again did more United Nations. Last and finally, this was also something like a part-time employment for me because I was able to earn a bit amount of money winning big conferences. So of course, on the monetary side, also it's pretty good if you do more UN.
Wait, hold on. You mentioned something about 5 languages. Do you learn five
Yeah.
languages?
No, it's just that I'm fluent in 3 languages, and I actually basically learned 2 languages to only speak, which is basically two languages, which are Tamil and Urdu. I speak, read, write, and understand English, Malayalam, and Hindi. And I can speak a bit of Tamil and a bit of Urdu. So in total, 5 languages.
Whoa. Wow, that's insane. What is your okay, actually, today is January 5th. So it's just 2020. And what is your New Year resolution?
It's
Are you going
not
to do
2020.
what?
Yeah, please. It's not 2020. It's actually 2022 we are in.
Okay,
It's fine, Heidi.
that's a blooper. Yeah, it's 2022. I messed up the numbers. There was too many twos.
Yeah.
But what is your New Year resolution? Do you want to go to the college you just got in, which has an insane acceptance rate? Or I heard you were going to apply to American colleges as well.
Yeah, so basically, this is very much confusing in nature. So I would say that for New Year resolutions, I got some plans. Number one, I am aiming for a place in the Guinness Book of World Records, which has been achieved for me for a very long time. So that is definitely going to be associated with Model United Nations. I think I'm applying for 3 different categories for Guinness Book of World Records. One is the fastest MUN, fastest delegator to reach 100 MUN awards. Number two, the youngest person to reach 100 MUN awards, and the third would be the highest, the shortest time to reach 100 MUN awards. So these are the 3 categories I'm aiming for the Guinness Book of World Records. And apart from that, I'm also planning to give some TEDx talks because a lot of people are recommending me. And plus, definitely, as you said, I'm aiming for the colleges in the United States. If I get a good scholarship from there, definitely I'll be going. If not, I'll stay here in India studying at St. Stephen's.
Wow. Wait, wait. Okay, hold on. You're trying to break some world record. Can you repeat the thing?
Yeah, so basically, Model United Nations as a concept did not have an established world record by the Guinness Book of World Records. Okay, so basically, Guinness Book of World Records is basically a book which records every single world records in particular disciplines. Okay, so like for example, the Guinness Book of World Record for the highest number of Olympic gold medals is in the name of Michael Phelps, a US swimmer. Okay, similarly, the fastest man on earth is Usain Bolt. So these are very insane records which I cannot break. But for my category in Model UN, I'm trying to make some incredible records which I'm going to be filing as a nomination in very time soon.
Whoa, that's so cool. Maybe we'll see your name on the world record book. That's so cool. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Can you talk to us? This is the last question usually. About your culture in India. What do you eat every day? Like the food? Also, when should we go visit? Like should we go in winter or maybe summer? What would you recommend?
All right. So this is the most cliche question every person who is abroad would like to ask to, and every Indian person who is beside sitting next to you. I would say that I don't have a particular climate to suggest to you. I don't have a particular place to suggest to you. I don't have a particular season to suggest to you. The reason why I'm saying this is because number one, India is a very diverse country. We have a massive population of 1.3 billion people, and we got a lot of cultural differences. So there are basically Hindu people living here. We got people from Islam living here, people who follow Christianity living here, Buddhism, Jainism, a lot of religious diversity. Similarly, there's a lot of diversity. We have deserts in our country. We have coastal areas. We got fantastic beaches. We got large mountains. We got the Himalayas. So India is a very much a complex country. And if you look at the number of languages, I think in India, at least there are 22 official languages recognized by the government. So India is a very diverse country, but it is a year. You can travel India for at least one complete year. So India is a much explorable place. Come to Kerala; it's a very beautiful place, and that's how I would like to, conclude and say about the Indian culture. Similarly, we are also known for our cinema and also the movies. Definitely, Indian movies are must watch. The Bollywood are not something a lot of people recommend to a lot of people, but I think the South Indian film industry is also pretty good. And there are a lot of things that is actually coming up as a sensation. So in some time, I would say that Indian movies would also be on lines with with the Korean dramas and similar, make it next after to the Bollywood and K dramas. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So yeah, we will be sure to tune into some movies and maybe visit India sometimes after the COVID-19 pandemic ends. And speaking of that, I think you and are going to be in persons after COVID-19. Yeah. And thank you so much for being here and talking to us about like all these great accomplishments you did. It's crazy to think that you can only go to law schools when you're 18 and you attended 150 MUNs. That's a crazy record. And we hope to see you on the world record book. And thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks a lot, Heidi. It's been always a pleasure talking to you, and we had fantastic experience in different MUN conferences. I hope to see you in some Model UN conference, or maybe if you are applying for colleges in the United States of America, maybe there or something. So that's about it. It was a pleasure talking to you. Hope to meet you soon as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Good luck.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Respected Mr. President and distinguished delegates of country. Well, terrorism is seen as an important threat that is having a water effect to the world we see today. Yes, terrorism needs to be eradicated from its very base roots to have a world which is terrorist-free and no terrorist group exists. Well, about Niger. Niger is a country which is considered to be the youngest country of the world, with 50% of its population is below the age of 15. Its relationship with the United States of America and France make it a country which wants to eradicate terrorism. Well, the presence of terrorist groups like Boko Haram, which is considered to be the Western African Association of the Islamic State, is causing major attacks on the country. The presence of Al-Qaeda terrorist group is also creating a further more impact on the lives of people. An attack by the Boko Haram on 11th of December 2019, which resulted in killing 71 soldiers and injuring 12, was a severe headache to the world and the whole countries we are seeing now. Well, now it's the time of the delegate of Niger to say the solution for this problem of international terrorism. The best solution which the world nations can put forward is to eradicate the factors which challenges the United Nations resolution to eradicate terrorism in countries. And that factors which challenges eradication of terrorism by the UN are the fear of nation against terrorism. We will be one hand in together. Thank you.